Karla Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah Bahashem Kwakwadash. I'd like to get double honors to elders, apostles, the great millstone that teaches truth. Just want to do a quick rundown on a dream that I had the other night. As I'm in bed now, it just popped back up in my head, and I was planning on doing a lesson on it, but just in case I do forget, just want to run down through the dream real quick, because I think the Lord gave it to me for a reason, because usually I often have dreams, but a lot of times I don't remember them by the time I wake up in the morning. But this specific dream I did remember, and it was very vivid, and I think it definitely has some significance to what's going on in today's world and the time that we in, according to the Bible. And in this dream, I can't remember all to this part, but I remember somehow running into Kobe Bryant out of all people. So, and it's not really all over the place. I'm gonna kind of keep it short. And then somehow we were dialoguing, we was talking, chopping it up, whatever. And like some demon or entity came and cut him up, sliced him across the throat, stabbed him in the gut, and he fell down. He was dying, And then the demon left, just scattered. It was like me and 2 or 3 other people in the house. And he was like, this happened upstairs in the house. And I had to go downstairs to use a phone. And I guess I couldn't find my cell phone. Could nobody find their cell phone? There was other people in the house. So it had like a phone on the wall. When anybody, you remember back in the day, we had those phones that was on the wall. So you had to get the phone and dial the number. And every time I try to dial 911, somebody would come on the line and like, this is the wrong number. Like this is not such and such or whatever. And then, so we kept trying to dial 911, kept dialing different numbers, try to call emergency, and because he was still alive, but he was fatally wounded, but he was still alive, So I guess he checked his pulse and he was still, needed emergency help because he could be saved. And I just remember kept dialing all these numbers, man. Then finally somebody found a cell phone. We tried a cell phone. We couldn't reach anybody for emergency to come there to work on them. And the dream kind of ended there, I guess, as far as kind of faded away. And then I think I ended up waking up. But I think the significance of that dream is that there's not going to be any emergency services, man. And people are going to be in need of health care or emergency care, and it's not going to be able to find it in that time. And I think this is, like I said, it's very significant, It was very vivid. I remember the dream, and I was like, the times that we in, we're going to have to be mindful of that, And I think the dream was trying to tell me that it's not going to be anybody to call upon other than Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah, And people so connected, and we as a whole, as a people, so connected to the system and rely heavily upon this system that the Lord is going to remind you who you should be calling on in that day. And I think that was really the meaning that I got out of that dream. Like I said, the Lord let me remember it the next day. And like I said, usually dreams like that, if the Lord gave me a reason to remember it, and it could be used for edification, it could be a warning that's going out to mind the people to start working on your emergency supplies, man. And your emergency supply is your spiritual connection to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah. And that's first thing is, in that supply kit, that emergency kit, is knowing the name of the Lord, man. So we have to have that connection to our power, man. That's one of the main things in that emergency kit that we're going to have to use in that time of emergency is knowing the name of the Lord. Knowing the Lord's Prayer, calling on the Lord, for deliverance, repenting, fasting, we're going to have to do some fasting. Constantly staying prayed up, being on our watch, doing whatever the Lord has required you to do. And also practicing these laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our abilities. But So we're gonna have to definitely build up our emergency supply kit. Like you have your first aid kit in the car, and it's got the gauze in there, it's got the tape. You may have some scissors and some band-aids and some Neosporin, or some type of alcohol wipes, and all these things in your emergency supply kit. But what do you have built up in your spiritual emergency supply kit? Knowing these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. Knowing these statutes, man. What the Lord has given us. Knowing our covenant with the Lord. So that was it. And Lord will, if I wake up tomorrow and remember, because man, I have a hard time remembering shit sometimes. So don't get me wrong. I will try to do a lesson on it with precepts. So I just want to kind of put this out there before I forget the dream, because a lot of times I will forget. So with that, say shalom.